Kailash Sathyarthi Children's Foundation has launched a campaign for which we have come out with an EP called We for Love.
To raise awareness about justice for every child.
Together we can and we must ensure justice for every child.
It's the eve of our Republic Day. We are also celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of our independence. And joining me are two phenomenal talents, Aman and Ayaan Ali. Always a pleasure to speak with you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Today, what we're doing is something very, very special. And what you have done is very special. So you've come out with an EP, which is all focused towards children. We're calling it V for Love, but it is more about justice for children. So how very apt. So let me understand from the two of you. We can start, and Ayaan, you can take it forward and tell us how did this all happen and what is this whole project all about?
Well, actually, we were very honored back in 2014 when Kailash Sathyarthi ji received the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, we had performed in Oslo for that occasion at the Peace Prize ceremony and at the concert. So ever since, I think my brother and I were very passionate about the work he was doing. And it just organically happened that, you know, we got associated with this campaign, Justice for Every Child. And then, you know, music is the greatest wealth we have as a family. So, and it was our best way of communicating or raising awareness for this cause by, you know, putting together some music. So it started with Aman Bhai and me just, you know, doing one track with Karsh Kale. And then gradually, you know, we were very honored to have such amazing greats from the field join us, you know, from Shubha Mudgal ji, Manmi Avasthi ji, Mahesh Kale Bhai, then even Karan Johar, who's a dear friend, he did a narration for one of the tracks. So everything just happened, and the whole, I mean, everyone resonated with the ethos of the cause. And I think this is just a sad reality that we are still dealing with. And I hope and pray that, you know, what the campaign is doing is achieved, and it's just a humble way of us contributing to it.
True. Aman?
No, I think pretty much Bhai has mentioned about how it all started. But I think also somewhere back of our mind, seeing Ayaan's kids, Zohan and Abir, seeing those young kids at 8 and 9 years, you know, and touchwood by God's grace, seeing them as a protected, you know, the protected children, as to seeing children under the flyovers and, you know, all over the place. Kailash ji's this whole drive about, you know, the one act of lust or this perverted act can change a person's journey, a kid's journey. You know, the next 80 years or 90 years of that child is all messed up. I mean, Kailash is, I'm trying to help them normalize, but honestly, between many people generally don't get back to normalcy. So this album, the whole logic was, obviously it started that Ayaan and I want to do something. You know, it's a time to pay back to society. People have been so nice to us. We want to be nice to the society. And what better way of trying to, you know, give it back to the young children who are growing. So the proceeds of the whole album, EP, as you call it these days, will go to the foundation. Whatever little we can generate, I hope we can do a good job with it, because they are very nice names here. And it's a very different sort of, it's a very not trying not too hard sort of an EP. It's pure music, basically. There's one track which has a bit of drums and all, just for the, you know, for the youth. But apart from that, it's a very relaxed, laid-back album. We are also focusing a lot on the Western audiences, because from there they can really generate a lot of more money. So everything goes to the organization, foundation.
Well, a very noble thought, but like I said, you know, I heard some of the tracks. You've released the tracks recently, and suna maine, and they are very different. So you're also experimenting. There is a lot of tradition. There is, of course, the beauty of the Sarod that comes through, but then the tracks also have a certain futuristic and a modern kind of an interaction, interplay. So talk us through the tracks one by one. Ayaan, you want to start this?
So basically, I think you could call it an experimental EP, and the thing is that, frankly, we were actually just discussing that what exactly is the genre of this, and it's hard for me to give it a name. I'll just call it global music, I think, even from the Western, for the Western ears as well. So obviously the track with, with Kailash Kale has the whole, the whole Asian underground and that element happening. And then with Malini ji, the thing is that the moment I reached out, when we reached out to these artists, it just, I mean, everyone was just so happy to be associated with this cause. And I think the music just followed. With Malini ji, it was the whole Thumri element, we played a very traditional rag called Zila Kafi. And, she's, it's a Thumri where she's talking about, Holi and Lord Krishna playing Holi, all of that. That happened. And then with the Mahesh Bhai, we just had one conversation and he said that should we do this beautiful bhajan? And I said, yeah, definitely. And Janki Nath, and the thing is we've given it a very contemporary arrangement as well. So I think, it just shaped up the way we wanted it to shape up. And then obviously with Shubha ji, I mean, we have such an old association with her. Everyone, and it all did happen during, the lockdown time, and, thanks to technology that files could go back and forth. But everyone did what they could do. And though the world had opened up, people did start traveling, but thanks to files going back and forth, it could all be achieved,
True. Well, I was about to come to that. Working down during the lockdown and working out and arranging the tracks and thinking about it must not have been easy, Aman.
I mean, no, honestly, it did save us the trouble from physically, maybe, going in and out. But yes, we were lucky enough to record in a studio which had no crew, as to say. So it was a bit tiring on the phone to, I think my brother plays a more important role in that because he's the one who actually was after everyone to, on a deadline, because we were also in the US in the month of October. And then November we were leaving. So एक track पहले निकल गया था, which was like a teaser. And then this album came out now in this month. So it was a bit tough, but as my brother mentioned, that all the artists they have done such a commendable work, contribution. And I'm so grateful to them for their help. And as they all are willing to work with the foundation and, and it's just come out nicely. And the sound is very different. If you see Sarod, I mean, amazing Sarod has been played in the past, will be played in the future by a lot of other musicians. But I feel Ayaan and me as brothers have maybe 0.5% contributed to the Sarod in this space, as we call it. This is Sarod has never been on this space with this type of production. I mean, I think so. But as I said, that we'll not be the first, we'll never be the last. So we're just one of them. But
yeah, I also don't think we've ever collaborated with so many artists, one after the other in one EP. So I think it's been really exciting. It's been an exciting process for us. And we've always adapted to technology, to change. I mean, these days you don't even have albums releasing, they drop. So, so this dropped on a few days ago. So I just hope everyone enjoys it and enjoys the streams. Yeah.
As they call it, the cocktail drug or the cocktail album, a lot of things are into it.
Lot of things are into it. But let me ask you, the whole underlying music creation, ये किसका brainchild है? It's a Milli Bhagat, or it is one person who's led from the front?
No, I think how it started was my brother Ayaan Bhai. He mentioned that let's work with the NGO. He started this whole conversation.
So we met Kailash ji, first.
But he came up with this whole thing that Kailash ji and let's work for children, all that stuff. Ayaan Bhai put it. And then when we met Kailash ji and we told him that we want to be associated, and then maybe somewhere I also said that maybe we can do an album together and have different musicians in that. So it's a combined effort by both the brothers. But I think the idea was started by my younger brother Ayaan Bhai, and then we all had our own creative inputs, and even Kailash ji and his amazing team had a lot to contribute to the album. And also this album has Paresh Mehti ji, who's designed the cover. I think I
Yeah,
about to cover
he
that.
very generously.
And my father, who played
Yes.
Vaishnav Bhajanto, so my father is also there.
So Paresh ji actually contributed to this to the cover art, and actually it's the first time I think we kind of adapted to art as well in an album, and you know, took the contribution from such a great artist. So it was, I think everything fell in place, and I just hope and pray that what we are doing here to raise the awareness for this cause goes through not just in India but even internationally.
Did your Walid Sahab, Gurudev, give you the thumbs up? You know, he's played Vaishnav Bhajanto, just like you said, and but did he hear the whole thing? What was his feedback?
He's happy. I mean, that's where it ends. There's a lot more to discover. There's a lot more to deliver in life. So I don't think my father would say that this is it. You know, you've reached. But his thing is that he's happy. He likes the sound. He likes the production. He thinks it's an appealing EP. And as my father always says, don't try to be the best ever. Always try and be the most loved. So I just hope this album is a very loved album. And not for us, at least for the children. I hope people go out there and purchase it and help the cause, make it bigger, as big as you can.
But I'm sure as his children, you know his tells.
Right.
When he really likes something, when he does not like something, or when he thinks something is just okay. So what was his tell this time, Ayaan?
I think Abba, you know, my father kind of communicates anything that he doesn't like. But you see, he's also been, you know, an artist who's always wanted to reinvent himself. He's always been open to all kinds of experimentations. I mean, the recent being his collaboration with Joe Walsh, you know, I mean, he's so
from the Eagle Band,
band.
I know.
So he's always very excited to do new things. So obviously, this is the first time he's, I think, also heard us work with so many artists and such wonderful artists. So obviously, I mean, he initial when tracks would come, he would give a suggestion that I think this is sounding good, or avoid this, whatever. So, but again, he always gave us the space, always gives us the space. But by the end of it, I mean, you know, we're still students, and the creative field is a long journey. You know, you're born every day, and it's a timeless journey.
True. The audience's feedback is what is perhaps the biggest test, isn't it? How it is received. You may believe that you've done fantastic work, or you've not done such fantastic work, but then the audience responds to it differently, and how they connect. Perhaps that's the biggest feedback as to how it is. But let me ask you our final one or two questions. What for you, or which for you personally is your personal favorite, Ayaan?
You know, it's very hard for me to have a favorite, because, you know, they're all like literally I mean, it's like literally seeing a plant grow and, you know, grow into a beautiful tree. So it's very hard for me to because, you know, have a favorite because every track has a very different color, a very different flavor. And it has beautiful moments which have resonated with me. So it's very hard
I think, I think what Anand is asking. So I mean, I would like to say that all the tracks are beautiful, as my brother is mentioning. But the one I think with Ayaan Bhai, me and Mahesh Kale is the one which people are giving a bigger feedback. Let's put it this way. Yeah. It's a bigger feedback because it doesn't have percussion also for the first time. And unlike Ayaan Bhai, both of us, we are so percussion oriented. We love percussion, you know. All our tracks, most of our tracks have tablas and, you know, drums and all that. It's such a beautiful instrument. So this is the first time that we have gone drum muted. Let's put it this way. It's only vocal and Sarod trying to imitate each other. And I'd like to come back to your first, well, that one question you asked us before this was, it was a nice thing you were just mentioning about, you know, if it gets accepted, even if the product is good or bad, if it gets accepted. So that's the biggest prayer, because till date, Ananda, no one knows what works with the audience, what doesn't work with the audience. All you can do is just pray, have an honest heart and say, you know what, we really tried. I hope this goes through to people. It connects, you know, the soul gets connected to another soul, basically.
Correct. Because I've seen this. Sometimes what happens is, आप बहुत अच्छी composition बनाते हैं.
Yeah.
You
नहीं
feel
चलता वो,
you've
correct.
done fantastically, and then you make a very, very simple composition, and then you play that out, and suddenly
And
you
that,
see
and
the
that
people.
goes through.
Yeah, people actually humming the more simple, basic
Correct.
composition, which you think that अच्छा ठीक है, it is nice,
Right.
but it's just but sometimes it just connects. So we just don't know, but it's music. It's like that.
But,
So that's why.
but as you said,
Mhm.
as you said, simplicity works like nothing. I think just be
Correct.
as a human being also is important to be simple, straightforward, and I think that takes you through the journey.
And in
of
the
life,
creative,
basically.
and in the creative world, like you said, you only know that you don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You only know that you don't know. You know why this worked, why that didn't work. You know it's you just give it out there to the universe and just leave it to the universe, literally.
Yeah. So let's just give it out to the universe and
Yes,
leave it to
yes.
them. And congratulations to the two of you. And I just
Thank
hope
you
that-
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, the cause
Thank
is
you,
good.
thank you.
The thought behind it is
Ji.
good. The motive is
Ji.
very, very pure. So let's
Ji.
hope that allows people to connect with your
Ji.
tracks. All the best to your EP, and wish you a very, very happy Republic
Thank
Day,
you.
gentlemen.
You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so
You
much.
too, bhai. Thank you. Take
Bye.
care.
To all our viewers, we're going to request you, urge you to support this cause. Listen to the EPs, pack the tracks, spread the word, and of course, help towards helping the children. Thank you very, very much.
We for love.
Thank you. We for love.
We for love. Thank you.